Now to our new and revealing one-on-one with former U.S. House Speaker Paul Ryan.
The Janesville native speaking at UW-Milwaukee this past week. The one-time vice presidential candidate served as House Speaker from October 2015 to January 2019, part of the first 2 years of the Trump administration. He's now out with a new book called American Renewal, a conservative plan to strengthen the social contract and save the country's finances. You're doing some new writing in a new book, and it's a bit wonky, right?
Well, it's probably not going to be made into a movie, okay? I'll give you that. Yeah.
You talk a lot about Medicare, Social Security, the nation's finances,
Right.
and that's where you want this conversation to be focused. On Capitol Hill, it seems like a lot of the attention is on either saving Social Security or eliminating Social Security, and there's no gray area in between. What do you make of the current state of that discussion?
The current debate is awful. It's not serving anybody. And what troubles me most is our presidents, both the current president and the last president, Biden and Trump, are demagoguing this issue. And what happens if you play this entitlement politics by trying to scare people with reckless, rhetoric? Then we're going to have bankruptcy, and then these programs get cut for the current seniors. Let's not forget that both Medicare and Social Security go insolvent in a decade, which will cut these programs and lead to a debt crisis. So the smart thing to do is, knowing that that's coming, step ahead of the problem, reform these programs so that they can make their promises, keep their promises, and be there for the next generation and avoid a debt crisis in this country.
Reform has almost been like a bomb thrown into Congress.
That's right.
Using that word recently.
That's right. I passed 4 budgets that reform these entitlements, and we lived to tell about it. I got reelected. Everybody who voted for these budgets got reelected. So you can propose reforms, and you can vote on these reforms and politically survive. The problem is, I think a lot of people lost that lesson.
Summarize what you mean by reform.
Reform means change the way the programs work for the next generation so that you can cash flow the current generation. So prospectively reform them. So keep the programs like they're working today for those in or near retirement. But for those, say, 60 and below, you have to change these programs because they're going to be bankrupt by the time we retire.
Given the current makeup of the House, how would you run the House if you were still Speaker?
So one thing I'm not going to do is Monday morning quarterback my successor. John Boehner didn't do it to me. I'm not going to do that to Kevin McCarthy. He's got a very razor-thin majority. He's got a couple big, tough issues coming up with the debt limit and appropriations. I think after that is settled, I think what he will do, which is I think what he should do, is start preparing an agenda to take to the country. Use the majority to cultivate policies that solve today's problems. What's our China policy going to be? That's a guy from Green Bay, Mike Gallagher, going to do that. What's our entitlement program solutions? How do we solve poverty? How do we grow the economy? What should we do with expiring provisions in the tax code? All of these things bear, research and proposals. And so I think what they're going to do is offer solutions to today's problems so that in 2024, this is my hope, we have a real clear choice. A choice, not a mud-throwing, mud-slinging contest between personalities.
That's very optimistic.
That's what we've had with Trump campaigns.
I would rather
have an ideas-based campaign where the country gets to choose a direction that's been coherently placed before them by our nominees. That's my hope, and that's why I'm hoping we have a nominee who can do that.
You said you're still talking to some members of Congress, likely about policy and this issue. Who?
Oh, a lot of them. The committees of jurisdiction. I used to chair the Ways and Means and Budget Committee. Yeah. I talked to those committees, obviously talked to the Wisconsin members, and I talked to basically the people who are in charge of the committees, and I talked to Kevin McCarthy earlier today.
You did? About what?
Yeah, we're friends. I'm not going to we talk about lots of things.
A lot of members of Congress are labeled, right? There's a lot of labels around Congress in Washington. How would Paul Ryan be labeled in this current Congress?
That's a good question. It's funny. I never changed really my views or my positions on the issues. I am a conservative, a traditional classical liberal conservative. Pro-life, pro-constitution, free market, limited government. But today, back in my day, a rhino was somebody who was more moderate versus conservative. And I'm a conservative. Today, a rhino is how much fealty do you pledge to Donald Trump or not? I'm very low on that. I don't pledge fealty to a person. I pledge fealty to principles. But regrettably, a lot of people have used labels in conjunction with how much fealty do you pledge to a guy like Donald Trump. I think that's a real dangerous place for a party to be.
Will Donald Trump be on the stage in Milwaukee during the Republican National Convention?
Well, he'll be on the stage in the debate, which is in August, but I don't think he'll be on the stage in the convention. I mean, not as the nominee. I don't think he'll be our nominee. The reason I don't think he'll be on the nominee is because we know we're going to lose with him. He cost us the House in 18. He lost the White House in 20. He cost us the Senate in 20. He cost us the Senate again in 2022. and he cost us probably a good dozen House seats in 2022. This is a lesson we don't need to repeat again. And I think even diehard Trump supporters know we're better off with somebody else, because a lot of people will not. Wow County swing suburban voters don't vote for Donald Trump. And we will lose this state again if he's our nominee. And I really believe we will win this state if we have a nominee not named Trump.
Are you going to endorse in the primary?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that. Right now, I'm just for a non-Trump candidate, because I think we'll win if we nominate somebody else. Anybody but Trump right now for me.
Come 2024, the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, where will you be?
It depends on who the nominee is. I'll be here if it's somebody not named Trump.
You won't show up if it's not.
Yeah, I'm not interested in participating in that, no.
Even in Wisconsin.
Even Wisconsin.
All right. Paul Ryan, thank you.
You bet.
All right, sure going to be interesting to see how this plays out over the next couple months.
Yeah, the countdown to 2024 well underway. Yep. Still ahead, what exactly happened on Tuesday? J.R. Ross is standing by. The new analysis you'll only see right here on Upfront.